Good afternoon and good evening to all of those of you out there in viewerland. Welcome to the Hump Day edition of The Rundown. I am your host, Craig DeLuz, coming at you from the left coast. But as we all know, I don't do this program by myself.
No, I help out from the East Coast. My name is Mike Wachowski. I am here to be the co-host from the East Coast with the most.
Exactly. Now, just so you know, I do not come from the left. I just happen to live on the left coast or the west coast.
Well, where do you come from? Wait. I don't know. Is this a joke? Is this some kind of trick? Did you just lure me in?
No, I did not. I just want folks to know that I'm not a lefty.
You're not a lefty.
I am not a Democrat. I am not a liberal. I am not a progressive. I am a card-carrying member of the vast right-wing conspiracy.
On the left coast.
On the left coast. I am behind enemy lines. In the belly of the beast, one could say.
But that's where you're from, geographically speaking.
Yes, it is where I am from.
Okay, gotcha.
Geographically speaking.
Geographically speaking. Like if I was going to mail you a letter, I would be putting California on the envelope.
Yes, but my heart is in America.
Your heart's in America. Well, California is technically in America, even though it's a republic.
But it's not in America.
No, it's in America. It's just not in America. Yeah. yeah, exactly.
It's in the part.
Yep, exactly right. Yep.
That's why when you consider the whole thing, including the liberal states, we're like, America.
That's it. There you go. Yep.
As opposed to America,
America.
Where people are free.
Yes. Free to do what I want.
Yes. So the weekend is starting. It is Hump Day, therefore we are officially heading towards the weekend.
I actually was just sitting down while we were, going through some audio tests and some video tests here, looking at where I'm going to be doing Saturday and Sunday plans and flying and doing all of that stuff. So already moving into the execution of the weekend.
Nice. See, got a plan, but you also have to be willing to be a little freewheeling because, as you know what they say, best laid plans.
That's right. Of mice and men or something like that.
Of mice and men.
I get a lot of them confused. A lot of the sayings confused. So it's just might start off right, but ends up completely wrong. So it looks like we got maybe it's going to be great here because tomorrow might be a little wet weather in Florida, and then Friday a little windy weather in Florida, and then Saturday and Sunday like tops. High of 75 and low of 57 Saturday and Sunday. Perfect days. No clouds anywhere.
Well, we've been pretty much after we had our little storm, over the weekend. It's pretty much been that. It's been pretty nice weather, during the 70s, 60s in the day, and then the 50s, mid 50s at night.
Yeah, good stuff. That's what we got coming here, but we got that weather without the mudslides. So,
well, that's because you didn't have the wildfires, but you do have Florida, man. So,
yeah. You got what is it now? I saw the new one. The new term you guys got now is you got the bomb cyclones. That's what you get. You get the bomb cyclone.
The bomb something cyclones, whatever the heck they call them. It was anyway. It was a storm, is what it was.
It was a bomb cyclone. It's
it's funny watching weathermen get all giddy that there's actually news about weather. And that people, as usual, don't know how to drive in it.
Right, exactly. Yeah. No, that's definitely Florida. I noticed I had one of those Facebook recall messages today. Something I posted 2-3 years ago. It said, "You ever see on the news when it snows for the first time in Atlanta or in Charlotte, and people absolutely lose their mind and forget how to drive?"
Yeah.
Well, that happens every time it rains in Florida. Every day. Every time it rains, they just.
I think that is a universal thing. It's got to be a universal thing because once again, it happens in California, it happens there, It happens pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. See, now the good thing I'll tell you about California, Craig, is I bet everybody in California drives the same, don't they?
No, they don't. Like Southern Californians and Northern Californians drive differently. People in the rural communities drive different than people in the urban communities.
I'll say right. I'll give you that. No, that's what I'll give you. But you have your regions where everybody drives the same.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, in Florida, there's no such thing as a region of driving where everybody drives the same because everybody in Florida is from somewhere else. So everybody here learned to drive a different way. So you may get the one guy who tries to speed up to get on the highway, which is the proper way, and the other ones who want to slow down to merge to get on the highway. You know, the ones who want to have never heard of a right on red before. You know, and so you get millions of people here that all learn to drive in, you know, Armenia or in Long Island and try and put them together, and it's chaos every day.
To be honest, the one, though, that gets me every single time is when I put on my turn signal, that's not a signal for you to speed up and block me from getting in.
Yeah. Oh, no, you didn't. You don't see me sitting back here thinking about occupying that spot?
Because being one car length further ahead is going to make a big, huge difference in what time you get wherever you're going.
You got there a quarter second before I did.
Exactly.
That's right. Yeah.
All right, let's get on to today's story, shall we? Let's do the first story. It's going to be about California, America's hat in Canada. So, first of all, we've talked about Canada. We've talked about gun buyback programs, but this is about a gun buyback program in Canada. Now, here's the interesting thing about this gun buyback program, Mike. They spent millions of dollars. Taxpayers were taxed millions of dollars to buy back all of these bad, evil guns, and no guns were purchased.
Yeah, I prefer to think of them as our attic. You know, like it's up there, and you know it's up there. But every once in a while, you go up there and you're like, "Hey, look at this cool stuff in here. I should pay more attention to it." You know, I've always thought of it as
then you realize that there's some stuff that's stuffed up there for a very good reason and needs to stay up there.
You don't go to the Yukon unless you want to face those things. Okay, you just leave them in the Yukon. All right, nobody's asking any questions. All right, just leave it up there. Yeah, Craig. Listen, so far they got $1.1 million invested into this. When you add in the new Secretariat of Gun Buybacks, which is a real title there, you're over $2 million, $2.2 million, and everything invested in taking back these firearms that are on Trudeau's ban list now, and they've bought back officially zero firearms so far. And Craig, it's funny because everywhere along the way, including the RCMP there, you know, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, the National Police, they all keep saying the same thing. It's not about the guns. It's about the violence. It's got nothing to do with the guns itself. We can get rid of these guns. We can take these guns off the street. If there's a violent person, they're still going to do a crime. We should be addressing the violence and the crime rather than the firearm.
Well, and that's most law enforcement folks that you talk to. They will tell you that. Then there are the handful of police chiefs that work in the liberal, left-wing, progressive, radical cities who basically are like, oh, yeah, no, we need to take guns off the streets. And Anyway, but once again, first of all, we know gun buyback programs, even experts, anti-gun experts have said gun buyback programs don't work. They do not take bad guns off the street. First of all, there's no such thing as a bad gun. There may be a crappy gun, but there may be a POS gun, but there are no bad guns in terms of, you know, evil. They're going to do harm all on their own guns.
Correct. You know, we've actually had that discussion before. There are no evil guns, but I think we could find one. We found one instance of an illegal gun, is what we found. But that was just semantics anyway. So, but yeah, it's not the gun. It's not the gun. It's not the gun. It's the gun is the tool of the evil. You know, so
right.
It's ridiculous, and now Canada's having to deal with it. So. You know, and by the way, folks, 2.2 million Canadian dollars out of your budget means it's going to go up somewhere else. You're going to be taxed somewhere else for it. It's going to go up.
Right. So as your local governments here in the United States, as they decide they're going to do these taxpayer-funded gun buyback programs, just know they don't work, and tell them don't. Don't waste your
feel
money.
Good is all they are. Is all they've ever been defined as a feel good program. Because when those people say we have to do something, this is the something. This is the equivalent of, hey, we've got to raise money for these homeless people. Let's have a car wash. Okay, that's what it is. You know, it's the hey, let's do something incredibly simple yet has no effect whatsoever, but makes us feel good.
Well, because that's what's important. How we feel. How we feel is what's most
Exactly right.
important.
It's true, except when you consider some old East Coast adage. Remember, it's not how you feel; it's how you look.
Look at you looking all purty.
That's it. Come on, who's that? Do you know who that is? That's an easy little quote for you. Easy little trivia there. Hey, baby, it's not how you feel; it's how you look.
Oh God, I know that. Is that Fabio?
No. Remember Billy Crystal?
Oh, Billy Crystal. Oh,
Yeah.
you look marvelous.
There you go.
Simply
You look marvelous. You look Fernando. You look
Fernando,
marvelous.
that's it.
It's not how you feel; it's how you look.
Wow, you went way back. You're dating yourself, dude.
Yes, I am. You got to get a date somehow.
The fact that I now remember it, so you've now dated me. Thank you.
Anytime.
All right. Moving right along. Let's talk gun control in Hollywood. That's right. As usual, we all know that anti-gunners all governed by anecdote. We know. So in this particular case, you have a California Democrat who said that he's going to introduce a bill because of what happened in New Mexico. By the way, mind you, it was on a film set in New Mexico, so this would have absolutely no effect whatsoever on this. But he wants to remove all live firearms and ammunition from film sets, make it illegal to have live firearms and ammunition. First of all, I'll just say this: there's no reason to have live ammunition on a film set, unless you consider blanks live ammunition. So I don't know if that's what he considers to be live ammo. But secondly, the idea of removing all firearms from film sets in California, all that means is that all of these action shows and movies and whatnot that they're doing where they actually do use real firearms, they're just going to move out of state like they've already been doing.
Yeah, absolutely. They're just going to run the productions out of there. But Craig, I do have to say that as somebody who has been a technical advisor, an armor, and a prop master on movie sets and TV sets, I've said this before. There should not be live firearms. There should not be live firearms. There should not be live ammo. There's too many other examples of firearms, prop guns, and non guns. Like stuff like the airsoft that we could be using. This is akin to, again, legislating somebody that saying don't touch the stove. Mm-hmm. Don't touch the stove. All right, we know not to touch the stove. If we could just have a little safety and a little common sense, mm-hmm. we all know not to touch the stove, right?
Right.
Well, evidently it's not enough, so we need just one more law, Craig, right?
Right.
How are we going to prevent violence on movie sets? We need one more law.
Well, right. but ultimately, just like they want to try and stop quote unquote mass shootings. The thing is that the number of people who have been shot and or killed in a mass killing event that has involved firearms is small. The number of actual people, but that's what we're going to focus on instead of I don't know, the criminals that were being released from our prisons by the hundreds and by the thousands who are then going out and committing violent crimes. No, we're not going to deal with the real cause of violence in our society. We're gonna legislate stuff like this. I've done films with both once again the airsoft and the blank guns, as well as with not live rounds, but real firearms with blanks. Yeah. And I think depending on who's doing the editing and their capabilities, sometimes it looks good and sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. More often than not, it doesn't in terms of it coming across as real. I just think that it's something that, once again, this was a case where someone didn't do what they were supposed to do. Several people didn't do what they were supposed to do, didn't follow policies and procedures, and stuff happened. Well, guess what? I don't care how safe you think you are. If people don't follow policies and procedures, safety procedures in particular, stuff like this is going to happen.
Well, and agreed. And let's make sure that our point is clear to the folks out there in viewer land. Is that do we believe that there should be live ammunition or live firearms on the set? No. Do we believe there should be a law? No, because one more gun law is not going to solve the problem of safety, of training. All right. You cannot legislate, and we've seen this everywhere we've gone. You cannot legislate common sense. All right. It doesn't work that way. You either have it, or you know what, you're an idiot and you end up shooting your camera lady. It's not It's your own ignorance and hatred of the tool that caused you to be part now probably civilly liable, but it's caused you to be liable in the death of this young woman.
Right. Well, and the last thing we need are the experts in, Sacramento or Tallahassee or in Washington, D.C., trying to figure out how exactly to make movie sets safe when we know, well, they're not really experts. They 9 times out of 10 have no idea what they're talking about.
Yep. Absolutely right. Yeah. So no more gun laws. Not what's needed. What's needed. You want get a little common sense, get a little safety training. That's what you need. And I hate even using the term common sense because it's been bastardized by the other side. But it really is common sense if you follow the gun laws. And the rule number 1 of gun safety is don't point the gun at anything you don't want to kill.
Exactly. Treat every gun is loaded.
Yep.
Every gun is loaded. And once again, even prop guns, I treat them like they're loaded.
Absolutely. Every time, everything you should.
Right.
From a toy gun to a known airsoft gun.
Right.
Because listen, you could pick up that known airsoft gun and hey, it's just an airsoft gun and point it at somebody, and that guy doesn't know you just got an airsoft gun, right? So what's he do? He pulls real gun.
Right.
And guess what you get? You get
the
real
other thing is you think you have an airsoft gun.
Exactly right. Yep.
And a lot of these airsoft guns, man, they are as heavy. They have similar weight and look and feel, and you wouldn't know the difference.
Craig, I have a 1911 sitting in my FFL's safe. That's a BB gun, just a regular BB gun, but it is made so good. It's fully mechanical, metal, steel, wood grips. It's made so perfect that when it was transferred from one dealer to another, they thought it was real. They put it on the books, and now it's been sitting in the safe for 4 or 5 years because we can't get the ATF to let us take it off the registry because somebody entered it because it looks so real. So now we got a BB gun sitting in a safe that we got to inventory 3 times a year, 4 times a year, because somebody thought it was a real gun. So.
It's out there. Part of the problem with, though, I'll say this, with using the airsoft and doing a CGI is that there are a lot of actors who really have no idea what a firearm, firearm recoil, or all of that really looks and feels like. So they just look stupid. I mean, it's a lot of times it's not the CGI, the person doing the CGI that's the problem. It's the actor with the gun.
Because of what they've seen. Listen, if George Lucas could do it with a bunch of Norwegians extras in Empire Strikes Back, then I think everybody else could. That was in 1980, by the way. I think everybody else could make shooting guns look real.
Yeah, that didn't look too real, but okay. Yeah, you just undid your argument right there, but okay.
You never saw the video? You never saw it where George Lucas sat down? He had all the guys at Empire. That's the snow one, and they're sitting on the lines, and the bad guys are coming, and there's the video of him showing it. They put these fake laser guns in their hand, and George just goes, you do this,
right,
do this, and he does it, and it looks real to everybody.
Anyway, we don't need more laws. Thank you, California. We don't.
Definitely not. No more gun laws.
No more gun laws. Yeah. Okay, moving right along. Well, we've talked all about the crime wave that's been taking place in the Bay Area and the San Francisco Bay Area, in particular in San Francisco. It's gotten so bad that there's a recall now against the district attorney there in Los Angeles, and they are so angry that there are former prosecutors. About 2 former prosecutors have left the DA's office and have joined the recall effort to get rid of the DA. In fact, they've gotten rid of like 50 prosecutors there in the district attorney's office, like a third of all the prosecutors, which I guess, why do you need all the prosecutors? Because they've decided they're not going to prosecute any crimes.
Yeah, right.
Right. Let me clarify. If you are violating some progressive law, then yeah, they're going to enforce that. But if you're robbing, stealing, bludgeoning people, they're not going to prosecute those laws. And so now two high-profile former assistant DAs have actually joined the recall effort against the district attorney, the George Soros appointed DA. I say appointed
Right.
because that's where all the money came from to get them elected. But is seeking to remove that DA from from office in San Francisco.
Yeah, this is the second attempt there. I guess the first attempt was a little less focused. They did not have the proper number of ballots or signatures needed. This time around, it's been turned in. I think they needed just over 50,000 signatures, and they turned in over 80,000. And the reason you do that is because you get a lot of Santa Clauses and that kind of stuff on there, and they've got to be verified as voters of the district. So should be good to go. They'll get those tallied up soon, and that still means election is next year, though, Craig. That's not going to happen soon for these people. So for those of you in San Francisco, it's still time to suffer the wrath of prosecuting, like Craig just said, crimes against LGBT members, but not against standard, regular, everyday folks.
Well, there are a number of recalls and recall efforts taking place in the state of California because, first of all, we're one of a few states that actually have the ability to recall electeds. But one of the reasons why you're seeing these is because there's a wave of left-wing politicians who've just decided that the law doesn't mean anything. In particular, in executive offices, they've decided that we will decide which laws we're going to enforce and which ones we are not. We're going to create laws and regulations out of nowhere and just do whatever it is that we want to do. And, there's nothing really you can do to stop me, people of whatever city in California or county in California it is. And, it's not that California is becoming more conservative, but they're getting pissed off at these radical leftists who just seem hell-bent on ruining the state.
Well, yeah, I mean that's exactly what you've got going on, right? They're not ruining the state, Craig. They're building their own utopia. I'm convinced that that's what they want. They want their laws to be a certain way. So when they actually put the walls up, and it's just the walls up to push out the pores. We don't need the pores in here. Listen, we got the poop on the sidewalk. That's okay, but we're going to put the wall up, and they can poop on their side of the sidewalk.
Well, I think what they're trying to do,
they're heading back to.
I think what they're.
Oh,
I'm still here. I'm still here.
Is it an earthquake? Is it a mudslide?
It is not a mudslide. I'm still here. Hold on a second. There we go.
Activate emergency rundown sequence 2.
No, it just leaned on the wrong button. That's all.
Okay, there we go. Got it. We got it back.
Let me clarify. Leaned on the wrong cord.
There we go. Got it. We got it. So the sequence worked. Sequence 2. That's good. All right.
But yeah, they're building a wall of poop. Is what they're doing.
That's it. It's a wall of poop. It's a wall of poop. I had a dog like that once. Actually, could build a wall of poop.
It must have been a big dog.
Well, you walk it. No, I'm not walking it, man. You get a wall of poop. That's what you get. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, here's the thing, and this is why this is what I tell all of my friends: elections have consequences. You can't get mad at this person who did exactly what they said they were going to do when they ran for office.
Yeah.
They said that they were going to. When you hear someone say we're going to be smart on crime, that means that they're going to let the criminals out and decriminalize crime. It means that they're not going to prosecute. It means that to them, the criminals are the victims. And they're going to protect those victims, not the victims of the criminals. And that's what they mean. And from Kamala Harris, when she was both DA there in San Francisco and Attorney General in California. Dude, we saw 20 straight years of declining violence and declining crime in California until she became Attorney General. And under her reign, it was the first time we had seen in over 20 years an increase in both regular crime, property crime, and violent crime. And now she became our senator because, she had to be smart on crime for the rest of the country. Now she's our vice president.
Listen, all of this nonsense that is gone on in California, and all of your domestic policies and your state policies, and I don't know, no homeless ducks or whatever the hell you guys got going out there. It costs money, right? It costs money, and the state doesn't have the money. We know the state doesn't have the money. They continue to pass programs that they know they don't have the ability to pay because they know they can come back and say, "Hey, feds, we need more money for our homeless duck program. And so the feds, the Joe Biden administration says, here you go. Here's money for your homeless duck program. And then they have no longer have any homeless ducks. Meanwhile, you got, everybody in the world flooding across the border. You got kids that can't eat.
What the duck? Did you just say homeless ducks?
Yeah, homeless ducks. I figure that's got to be an important issue in California.
What the duck is wrong with you, man?
You got the homeless duck issue out there. And so here's the deal, California. Here's where everybody hates you. One, because you have a homeless duck program, and who the hell needs a homeless duck program? Two, because now your ridiculousness is coming out of my pocket over here in conservative land, because we're getting less federal funding that we should be getting for our roads and highways, because you needed more to make up for your basic civil rights issues, or as opposed to your homeless duck program. So you're not only making people mad inside California, you're making the rest of us mad. We don't buy California goods. We don't go to California anymore, and it's not going to happen. And listen, once we get a president back, like the last one we had, because he kind of showed California the deal, didn't he, Craig? Hey, if you caused your own financial hardships, that's on you. We're not sending you money. You deal with it. Right.
And in return, we Californians sued him multiple times.
And that's right. It took up the court system. He put new judges in, and you lost most of those lawsuits. So,
yeah. Well, we won initially because we had home field advantage, because the Ninth Circuit was right here in California.
Yeah, exactly.
But eventually justice would prevail.
That's right. It's like, okay, listen, the judge there that says you got to give the money was there in California. Unfortunately, the guy with the check was in D.C. And, he just lost his good pen. He wasn't able to sign the check. It took 3 years. It never happened. So
that's how it goes down. That's how it goes down.
Yep. That's it.
All right. Let's talk about super spreader Joe Biden. Now, I don't know that this is necessarily news, and it's probably not even a really huge deal, but it's important for this very reason, because we keep hearing the president and the vice president, and we keep hearing everybody on the left talk about, how we should be safe and how we should protect others and make sure that, we're doing basic things like, getting a vaccine and wearing a mask indoors and outdoors, coughing into your arm, washing your hands or disinfecting your hands. Well, this was a particular case where the president was out promoting his Build Back Better, it sounds like Mo Better Butter program. Just check out how he handles, keeping the people around him safe.
Here's some for you. Here's some for you.
There's some COVID for you. There's some COVID for you. There's some COVID for you.
You're old. Here's some for you.
I mean, come on, dude. Look. Okay, rule number 1. You don't cough into your hand. You cough into your elbow, cough into your shirt, cough into your shirt. Do something. You don't cough into your hand, right?
Right. Yeah.
And on top of it, it wasn't like he coughed into his hand and then took some stuff got a wipe and wiped it off. He just went and he just spread his germs to each and every person whose hand he shook.
Yeah, he literally did the whole. Hey, I got some for you.
Here you go. Here's some COVID for you.
What was the name of this event? The Mo Better Blues. What'd you say?
Build Back Better.
Build Back Better. The Build Back Better.
We gonna build back better.
Listen, his brain was too busy trying to wrap herself around saying that, as opposed to caring that there was COVID. He doesn't know anything about COVID. All right. He's sitting there wondering why everybody looks like Batman. All right. He has no idea why people are wearing masks around him. He just figured he's going to go with it. He doesn't have any clue what's going on around him.
No, none whatsoever. Once again, now this is the same guy who will stand 50 to 100 feet away from reporters and wear a mask, right? Outdoors. Then will walk indoors and take his mask off and get next to the 97-year-old former President Jimmy Carter and take a picture with him all hugged up.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Well, I mean, in all fairness, Jimmy's got the peanut immunities. You know, he's got if he's been able to live amongst those peanuts all his life and not develop a peanut allergy, he's right. The COVID's not going to take him down. He's peanut strong. He's peanut strong.
He's peanut strong.
He's peanut strong. Yeah.
I think you know what I believe? I honestly believe that because of his Christian background and because of his faith, I honestly believe that the Lord allowed him to live long enough to see a president that was worse than him.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
He wanted him to die. Okay, you're not the worst.
Yep. There you go. Yeah, it's probably right. Yeah, but you get what I'm saying. There's every third person has a peanut allergy now. Except Jimmy Carter. He's the anti-peanut
except Jimmy. Exactly. Except Jimmy Carter.
He's peanut strong. I'm telling you, he's peanut strong.
Peanut strong. I like that. All right, let's move on to our parting shot. This one is never going to get old. I'm sorry, but I just love the fact. I'm not even a baseball fan, right? Seriously, I'm not even a baseball fan, but I am going to thoroughly enjoy this World Series because I know that it is going to upset some people. In particular, it's going to upset this person. This is the face. This is the face when you get the All-Star game moved from Georgia, but the Braves advance to the World Series. Now, the one thing that is missing in this meme, Mike, is the fact that they forgot that the other team is in Texas.
Texas, yeah. The swan song part of this story with the Braves is, again, they were in third place, fourth place, hovering right near the bottom, just above the bottom, right before the Major League All-Star game got taken away from them. Now, Craig, you've seen the movie Major League. I know you have Charlie Sheen, Tom Berenger, everybody in there, right?
Classic. Yes.
And there's one scene in there when they come in and tell them, and they said, listen, even if we get a winning record, it's we're not. She's going to sell the team. She's going to get rid of us. And they decide with Tom Berenger's character, and he says, well, then there's only one thing left: win the whole freaking thing. And somebody's put that meme together, that video together with the Braves at the All-Star break. Oh, they want to take the All-Star break away from us, take the All-Star game? Well, then there's only one thing left to do: win the whole freaking thing. And that's what they've done. They've made it to the World Series, and now you got old Stacey Abrams sitting there trying to figure out what her next step to do is to kill her own career.
Well, exactly. Stupidity. By the way, to move it to a state that has stricter voting laws than the one they removed the World Series from.
Yep.
Just so y'all know.
Just from the All-Star game, yeah.
Just so y'all know.
Yep.
All right. Let's give a shout out to our sponsors.
Let's do it to our good friends at Gorilla Machining. Please check them out. All of your America's Rifles accessories, as well as our good friends at Grid Defense. And people say, man, you got two people that sell the same product. Well, they sell a really good product. All right. Both of them do. You could go buy from both of them. It doesn't matter. They're really good people. And then, of course, our friends at the California Republican Assembly. Say hey to them, too.
Exactly. Just so y'all know, there are more Republicans in California than any other state in the country. It is the battleground. Trust me, the battles being fought on the ground here in the California Republican Assembly is the Republican wing of the Republican Party. That means, pro-gun, pro-life, pro-traditional values, anti-tax. Check them out. If you're in California, become a member. If you're not in California, still become a member. It's a national organization, but check them out. They're fighting on the front lines, hoping to elect folks who think like we think.
There you go. Just like that. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to everything we do. And Craig, you look marvelous.
Thank you. As do you. You look marvelous.
No, you look marvelous.
No, you look marvelous.
Oh, you look marvelous.
All right, folks, that's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, like, share, subscribe. Encourage your friends to do the same. We'll holler at you tomorrow.
Later.